Mr. Trump, you know, they talk about base. Mr. Price had the base pet. One time, they said they're going to blow up Mr. Price's house. Miss Dolly Simpson, Miss Elsa Vasquez, my granny, my next lady name is Hazel, and a few of them belong to the United Women's Group. They gone out, they gonna be police. Mr. Price come out and say, ladies, you can go home and rest. I say, oh no, we not going to rest nowhere. We stay right here with you. We live the Ponga Bridge. My man sent me, go carry my granny dinner out there. I said, it.
I first got to know him as a young man working in my father's stall at Belize City Market. Okay. He used to be a constant visitor between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, almost every morning. He used to come in after church. I learned afterward, after his church service, come and just check the market. I learned a little bit more. One day, he came and he stood by my father's stall, and he said to me, say, young man, you are Mr. Price's grandson? I said, well, I your granduncle. It's like that. And that's how the relationship started. Okay, and just high and by and used to come into the market regular, as I said earlier. Then it went on, if I recall, this was like around 1950, let me see, 56, I was 17 years old, yeah, thereabout. And then I started to follow, go and listen to a meeting because this politician and my uncle, I used to go to the courthouse wharf and listen to his speeches.
I knew him personally for a very long time. From when I was about 12 years old, and still in high school, when I saw him first. And then I got involved in party politics here in Orange, and I came up with it through the many years. We went through the struggle of the campaigns for independence. When we had self-government first in '64, I was already there. And between '64 and '81 independence, I was very much in touch with Mr. Price because of the visits he used to make. He used to come to the district, Orange district, and Orange town to make visits. He used to come almost on Thursdays. On a Thursday, we would look out for Mr. Price, right? And the villages also.
I grew up in a single mother family without a father. And the very first father figure I ever had was Mr. Price. He was the one man who took interest in my well-being, in my education, in my future, and always asked me, what do you want to do?
It's 1961, and when we opened our door the morning, Ponga Bridge had disappeared. It didn't look like the bridge of today because it was a very high bridge, so that for a little girl of 6 looking on the veranda and seeing that, it was just like, whoa. Then the next day the water receded, and because we'd have veranda people. So Miley Chin just the rest on the top of the veranda. But I saw this gentleman coming down the road, had his trousers rolled up to his knee, had his shoe tied around his neck. I don't know who this man, but it was strange because this was the only person coming through the water. Then he stopped by our house, and so I said, Mr. and Mrs. Gus. So we yelled, Mom, a man is calling us. And she goes, she said, Mr. Price, what are you doing here? No, I want you to understand, you know the name is Mr. Price, but I couldn't pick out somebody and say, oh, that is Mr. Price, because no pictures, and when you smile like that, you know, they see no billboard or all these newspapers of the day. So he was there. My mom said, Mr. Price, what are you doing here? He said, I came to see what was happening on the south side to people over here. That has stayed with me because, like I said, I never saw any leader anywhere in my lifetime doing something like that. So, but that is just the essence of who that gentleman was.
When he was conferred the honor of the hero, Belizean hero, with all the fancy stuff and that, he was surprised. He was absolutely surprised. He said, don't you think there are others who deserve this more than I do?
That's what I remember most of him, his humility. Although he was the leader of Belize. He was the big man. He was the leader of Belize. He was our party leader. He was a prime minister. But he kept it to himself. All right? He shared it with everybody. His humility. That's what I admire most of him.
He's always been humble. You know, he never projects himself as a man of quote unquote importance. He used to occasionally walk around Belmopan picking up dirt and so on. Whenever I saw him, I'd jump in there and start picking up garbage from the streets. He always said, if you live in a clean city, you will have a clean mind and you'll have a clear future. So let us keep Belmopan clean.
There's only one time I recall he punched me, hit me in my hip. We were at a public meeting in Benke. Okay, in December too, if I can remember right. And in north and it was drizzle rain. And the drizzling started sudden. And I walk away from him. I don't remember who was the speaker, but we stood up in front of the podium and I walk away from him and I went to the Land Rover and I got the umbrella, his umbrella, the big umbrella, and I came back, turned around and I opened the umbrella and put it over. When I hold up the umbrella, so it does, it hit me. Take it down. Without even looking at me, take it down. So I get frightened and said, take it down. And I said, look, so when the meeting over, he said, nephew, we're in this together. Do you agree? He says, now why should you shelter me when everybody else is getting wet? If all of us can enter the shelter at the same time, let's stick it out together. And then I realized the type of man you're dealing with.
I walked in the path of a great man who did not wear his greatness on his shoulders, who at times did not even appreciate the fact that he was great.
We went to Taiwan to meet with the president at Taiwan. So we got to Taiwan. The usual, well, Lee handbag, he got so 2 underpants, 2 undershirt, 2 wire wear, 1 khaki pants. Travel with that. Anyway, when we get to Taiwan, fanfare, and they send me up to the suite. And we get to the suite, dining room, 3-bedroom, Only me and here, you know, TV and thing. So he said, maybe, I wonder how much a night for this room. Yeah. I said, no, he said, call front desk, man, you could find it. I called. That room was $500 US a night. I can't tell her that. He said, no. He said, let's go downstairs. He gone to, then I tell her, he said, sir, but this is a room. He said, no, I want a smaller room. Okay. 2 away for $500 a night. He said, we're not. He said, no, save the state money.
He was aware of the fact that he was our first minister. He was aware of the fact that he was leader of the Great People's United Party. He was aware of the fact that he was our first premier, and that he was our first prime minister, and that he was the father of the nation, and that it was his bright idea that created Belmopan. He was aware of the fact that he created jobs for people. He enabled a lot of people to have homes, to have education, to have electricity and water. He was aware of that. He's no fool. He knows what he did. But he did it because he thought that it had to be done.